Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I want to start off with our new dashboard. I did this so that I don't get distracted by the websites. So the first thing out here is that you can see our fear and greed index is at 28. We have not moved much. At the most, we have gone to 29 or 30 and come back to 27. So we have been in that range for quite a while. I suspect we'll do this until April 2nd, and after that either we are going to drop down below extreme fear or we may probably go into greed, because everything hinges on what happens with all this tariff. If it goes away like a miracle, I think the markets are going to be overjoyed. Now, if you look at the S&P 500 futures at the time of recording, they were down 0.06%. And when we look at trading view, we'll find that they'll be down maybe double digits. Nasdaq was also down 0.17%. So both of these indicate a negative open, at least at this point of time. The VIX is up 2.46. That also supports a lower opening in the morning for the markets. The 10-year yield, fortunately, has gone down 0.80% after spiking yesterday, but it's still on the bull channel. We'll see it when we go to the trading view platform. And also gold is up. Gold is having a good time. I was thinking it was going to come down, but it's on its way up. Fortunately, I have PSLV that's also going up significantly. Now look at Bitcoin. It's down to minus 2.74%. We'll check out Bitcoin graphs when we get into the trading view platform. Now, the top headlines that really caught my mind. One was Russia's Putin says it would be a profound mistake to dismiss Trump's push for Greenland. And why is it important to us as retail investors? Well, the bigger markets are in the developed nations like US and Europe, like you got the German stock market and the British stock market, those areas. Now, when Putin in this article seems to be very unbothered about Trump's need to take over Greenland, I would have expected that Putin might say that he doesn't want US in that proximity to be able to monitor Russian activities out there, but he seems to be in favor. He's saying that it doesn't matter to us, it's between Europe and US. So that kind of gives a green light for US to be aggressive. And I think the planned trip for JD Vance to Greenland along with his wife did not go very well, and they have cut short the trip. That's what the news reports are saying. So this means that there's going to be a lot of worry in Europe, and that could again boost the defense budget for Europe. And I think we should see a little bit of a spike in the stock markets in Europe, especially for the defense stocks. So that said, let's look at the other headline, which was Elon Musk is in the clear after the tariff verdict for autos. So most of Elon Musk's vehicles are being assembled within US. For example, GM has got plants which are spread across the continent. So there is a lot of manufacturing outside of the US, parts coming from outside. In fact, Montreal exports a lot of aluminium, which goes back and forth between the borders to get converted into pistons and the like. And there are various parts that are manufactured with Montreal aluminium, which goes between the two borders, back to Windsor, goes into Windsor and comes back into Michigan, and so on and so forth. So all other auto companies have got problems. And also auto experts are saying that it's going to be very difficult to decide what percentage of a car is manufactured outside of US and what is manufactured inside. So we still have to see how it works out. But right now, Tesla seems to be the clear winner, and we'll see what happens after the tariffs actually get charged. The other headline I see is recession indicator. Young Americans are losing confidence in the economy. And it shows online on Twitter and other memes that they publish talking about recession. When recession becomes a pop culture topic, that means it's becoming much more serious. And we have China trying to take some leadership and put back the world order together and make sure that the global business lines remain intact. So this is a positive development. And back home in Toronto, we have Carney saying nothing off the table as Canada plans tariff retaliation. So we are getting geared up, and the PM has assured that he will select tariffs in such a manner that it inflicts more pain on the US and less on Canada. So there you go. That's a roundup of all the things that we have today. It's a mixed bag out here. And if you look at the economic calendar, we are supposed to get the core PCE, personal income, personal spending, all this inflation and personal spending data. And that is going to be consumed by the Federal Reserve. And we can see and imagine what the Federal Reserve will be thinking about the interest rates based on the readings out here. So they could probably make a change between now and the market open. Right now, the market is looking bearish, and we'll see what happens as the results come out. It's 7:50 a.m. and I think we'll be closing the live stream before this data comes in. Next, I want to look at our TradingView platform, and I can see that we have in the futures, we have S&P 500 down to 0.15%. When I prepared the slide, we were at minus 0.06%. So definitely the trend is downwards. And in the chart, you can see that we had a line of support over which we ended yesterday. And today we have gone below that. So I'm going to mark 5,738 to be a resistance. And our next support is going to be at 5680.25. MACD is decaying. Momentum is also weak, so I'm expecting this to come down and bounce off this support. If it does not bounce from this support, then I think we are going to go down further. Now, this support line is very important because it is the top part of a gap up. If we break down below this, then we are going to the gap down, which is the next support line, and that next support line is sitting at 5,638. So that's the prognosis for S&P 500, so more bearish, and shorts are in order. And Nasdaq futures are down 0.27%. They closed below a line of support yesterday. That was 20,038.50, and we have converted that into a line of resistance today. It was very important line of resistance, and now we are going down into this area of huge support. It's going to be very difficult for Nasdaq to break down below that, but we are progressing towards it, and I think it's going to be 19,735.25 that will perform a role of a support this morning. And I'm going to just tune on the exponential moving averages. So there is no support from any of the exponential moving averages, and our resistance at 20,038.50 is even more strong because it is joined by the 9-day exponential, which is at 20,042.93. So that's what I'm seeing out here. Next, let us look at dollar index. It shows that the dollar is consolidating in a range, and our 10-year yield is down by 0.71%, and it's still riding this bull channel out here. Unless we break down from this bull channel, I'm going to be wary of the potential of interest rates going up. This basically indicates inflation, but if it breaks down below here, I'll be worried because that will indicate recession. So this head and shoulder pattern may or may not form, and we'll get to know that based on what happens with the economic data that we get today. USD JPY, not much worried about it right now. Let's go on to AI and look at our AI stocks. Wait, let's go to the indicators first. That's where we have to look at S&P 500, where it ended up yesterday. It ended up exactly on top of our these two diagonal lines of support. It was a very strong support there. And this morning, if we open below this diagonal line of support, I think we'll convert this diagonal line of support into a resistance. So for us, we need to open above 5,682 in order to be safe. If we do not do that, then our next support is going to be at 5,659.34, and our resistance is going to be this diagonal line of resistance. And I would say for today, it will be 5,711.02. So those are the two ranges between which we would be operating for S&P 500 today. And this line of support out here is very critical because it's below a gap up situation that we had in the past. So there is some kind of residual memory out here, I would imagine. So let us see what happens. If we fall down below this, then we are also falling down below the bull flag that we have had here. And that would mean that we are going to trigger a drop And I have already marked that for you before. The drop out here could take us all the way down to 5093.39. It has the potential to go all the way down there. So we have to be careful about that. And NASDAQ also has formed a bear flag, and this bear flag, if it breaks on the downside, we are in trouble. Now, if you look at this diagonal line of support, we converted that into resistance yesterday. So I'm going to assume that we are going to open below this. And if we open below this, our first resistance today is going to be 19,781.37. And our first support is going to be 19,700.09, this green line that you see here. And the second support for us is going to be 19,458.11. I hope that we do not fall down below this, because I'm going to draw the bear flag out here for us. So this is our bear flag. So if we fall below the bear flag of 19,604.68, then we'll trigger the bear flag position, and we'll get a drop of approximately, let me just draw this out here for you and just move this up from here and take it to this position out here. So if we fall down from here, we're going to go all the way down to somewhere around, I would say, 16,990 or something in that range. So that's the potential of the drop that we can have. So we should hope that we don't break down out of this bear flag. Next, we go to QQQ. We are down 0.21 in the pre-market action with QQQ, which indicates we're going to have a negative open this morning, at least at this point of time. It's around 7:57 a.m. So there is a long time to go before the open, but right now it seems bearish. Wix is also up 2.19% in pre-market trades. That also indicates a negative open this morning. Put call ratio is absolutely neutral in my opinion. And if you look at gold, it's approaching its resistance. It's going very strong. And if we have recession fears and all, I think gold is going to go up further, and it could breach this diagonal line of resistance. Otherwise, it will come down. I'm waiting for gold to come down before I load up again. I already took profits somewhere around 3,017 or something, and then I've been waiting patiently to buy it. So I'll buy if it comes down. And then let's go on to our AI stocks without further delay. NVIDIA is in a very critical position at this point of time. I would say that NVIDIA is exhibiting a kind of inverted hammer, which could indicate a potential for trend change, and also it indicates a little bit of exhaustion for the sellers. So we are trying to break out of this diagonal line of resistance. We pierced it yesterday and we got pushed back down. We have to see whether the bears have got the strength to keep us under this diagonal line of resistance. So if we manage to break above 111 for 11.89 this morning, then I think that we are going to be having a good chance of converting this line of resistance into a support. And then we have blue skies ahead for us to go up. However, if we don't manage to break through this, then our next support is this huge area of support, which is going to start from 109.26 and it's going to end at somewhere around 106.91. Right now we are at 111.86. We are just below this diagonal line of resistance. So the verdict is still not in. So we'll see, we'll watch what happens when the market opens, especially after the inflation data comes in. The economic data could make a definite decision for us. Meta is also showing signs of seller exhaustion and a potential trend change. Everything is nicely poised for the economic data to come in so that we can decide where we want to go. Again, the same concept out here. This is a bear flag. And if we break down below the bear flag, then we are going to have a huge drop with a little bit of support initially at 581.20, and then we go down from there. Now Google is down 0.16% in pre-market trades, and we broke down below this line of support at 164.49. I'm going to make that into a resistance. Pre-market, we are down 0.16% and sitting at 163.82. I'd like to see where the exponential moving averages are. They're all above us, so nothing to worry about here. Next, look at Amazon. Amazon has shown a little bit of jump yesterday. It gained 0.11%. It's not too much to write home about. It was trying to get back into above yesterday's close, and it succeeded marginally, but it couldn't do too much to cover the body of the previous day's candle. And today pre-market it's down 0.23%. So I'm thinking that if Amazon stays within the bear flag that we have out here, I think we should be fine. The bear flag is not yet completely formed. It is looking more like higher highs and higher lows, but we are still within 50% of this decline that we have had here, which is the flagpole. So I'm going to consider this to be a potential bear flag, and on the top I'm going to bound it so that we can see some kind of indication about this flag. So this is where we are. I'm going to make it a bit parallel to the upper line just to be precise. So I'll leave it there. Next we go on to Apple, which is down 0.79% this morning. It has been trying to make up its mind. The bullishness was cancelled with the bearish candle, and then it is again cancelled with the bullish candle. So it's not clear what Apple is trying to do. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is below average. It needs to go above average, but pre-market shows that we are going down. We are down 0.81, that is 222.06. So I'm thinking that probably we are going to be in a hold pattern unless the economic data shows that the economy is going weak, in which case we would have a red candle for the day and potentially we could come down. We still have a good deal of support out here. We are on this support out here, which is this green line that you see, and for today the support is going to be at 215.51. Next, let us look at Microsoft. Microsoft has broken out of this bear channel, and I would say that we are developing a bear flag out here. I'm just going to copy this, clone this out, and just move this up so that we can bound the bear channel. So this is the bounding of the bear channel. If we break down below the bear channel, then we are going to drop severely. Now, if you look at the support for today, our support is going to be at 389.44 if we were to remain inside the bear channel. However, pre-market, we are at 388.59. So we are already out of this bear flag in my opinion, and our next support is going to be 386.90, failing which we are going to get the next support at 380.20, and we open up the potential for a big drop for Microsoft. Next we look at Tesla, which is looking incredibly strong. I'm unable to reconcile the fundamentals of Tesla with its price action, but we have to react to the chart. The chart is looking extremely strong. Again, exhaustion candle out there, sellers are exhausted, and we have been trying to break out of this horizontal line of resistance at 280.50, 284.50. Pre-market we are at 276.46, up 1.22%. So we're going to tackle this resistance again and try to break out above it. And in the bottom, we have support at 268.18. That said, let's go on to Oracle. Oracle is still within the bear channel and continues to be in the bear channel. It has got a support at 142.73 and it has a resistance which is going to be at 147.30. AMD is trying to create the reverse head and shoulder out here in my opinion. It's down 0.42%, so it's going to be a smaller candle out here. It still has got a support. I'm going to adjust this line of support because we got two more touch points out here. So if I extend this out to this corner, I would say that we have a very good support out here today for AMD at around 104.72 or 104.75, something in the 70s range, 104.70. And next, let's go and look at SMCI, which is up 2.51%. I was saying watch the bull channel build. I'm going to remove this comment because it's no longer a bull channel. And we are straddling this support out here at 34.68. I think this is an important support because in the past we had failed to break it many times and then finally broke it after 4 attempts. And then we have also been trying to breach this in the past at least once and we failed. So this is the second time we are trying to approach it and we are already above it again, 1.87%. So I'm thinking this is a strong support. So our support today is going to be 34.68 and our resistance is going to be this diagonal line of resistance out here which will take us to somewhere around 41.73 for SMCI. AVGO, Broadcom is down 0.16%, and it's going to try and test the support at this minor line of support that we have out here. Let me just adjust this to make it a bit straighter. And this can go a little up. Yeah, so it's going to be somewhere around 170.80 for us today. That's the support, and the resistance for us is going to be at 178.75. Next we look at Palantir, which has got a very good support out here, this diagonal line of support from the previous bull channel, and again this acts as a bear flag, but because we are already 50% into this flagpole, I think I'll consider this more as a bull channel. It's also looking like a cup and handle pattern to me. Pre-market we are down 0.69% because we have broken down below this diagonal line of support. Now this diagonal line of support is going to be the resistance for us today, and that will be 92.12, and we have a good support at 83.68. If we were able to manage to come out of this and get back on top of this diagonal line of support, then I have good news for you, because we are going to have a cup and handle pattern out here, and this cup and handle pattern is going to let us jump up. And how far up can we go? Well, we can go all the way up to here. I'm going to clone this and just move it upwards on top of this here. So I would say that we can go all the way to around 125.66, and that will coincide nicely with 124.43. So I would say we can have a target of 124.43 for this cup and handle pattern for Palantir. So the key is for us to break above this diagonal line of resistance that we have out here, and if that happens, I think we'll be in a good place for Palantir. SMH is down 0.18%, and FNGB, I'll let go of FNGB and FNGD. Let's look at Micron for a change. It's down 0.58%, not looking great on the charts. Cloudflare also is down 0.67%, not looking that great on the charts. ARM holding is also not that great on the charts, down 0.20%, and we've got ASML, which has been struggling, and it seems to have some kind of a support in this area of around 682.69. It's already down to 686 this morning. It's dropped by minus 0.67%. So I think that it could get some kind of a bounce at 681.44. And then we have Snowflake, which is down 0.78% in pre-market trades. Chart is still looking weak. Netflix is up 0.08%. It's been going on a steady bull channel. It seems to be unaffected by the overall market. It's one of the Mag 5, Mag 7, which is doing very well. Let me draw this bull channel out here just for completeness so that we can visualize what this bull channel looks like. I'm going to color this as green so that we know we are above this. So our support for us today on this bull channel is 973.48. Right now we are at 977.50, up 0.08%. So 973.48 is our first support this morning. There is no resistance that I can see above, and the next support is 936.68. so those are the two support levels that I can see. Intel is down minus 0.93%. It is going to do the gap fill, in my opinion. There's a huge gap fill out here, and we have to go down, fill it up, and probably we'll start doing that today. Qualcomm is down 0.09%. It still has got a resistance out here, which is at 158.44. We are at 157.82. If we break this resistance, then I think that we'll have the next resistance somewhere around 160.36. Our support is going to be this line of support from the previous bear channel, which was the resistance of the bear channel, which is becoming a support for us today. And that is going to set at 154.33. Next, I'm looking at Rigetti, which is again weak, 0.12. It's down 0.12%. It's got this diagonal line of support, which is going to give us support today at 7.86. Next, I'm looking at SMR, which is also dropped 0.37%. It could go all the way down to 14.38. It could do that today or over the next few days. And then if you look at AV, that's also negative. And I want to go back to our indicators and look at S&P 500 from a weekly perspective so that we can get a zoomed out bigger picture. I'm going to just recalibrate this chart so that we can see it clearer. And as you can see, we have got a candle which is just sitting above this diagonal line of support on two channels. This is the first line of support and this is the second line of support. It's a very strong support. If we break down below this week, our next support is going to be a very long-term bull channel support which is coming along for a very long time. It's a very strong support. If we break down below that, then I think we are going down significantly. I already given you the targets when we did our S&P analysis earlier this day. And then when we look at NASDAQ is sitting at a critical support on the weekly chart of 19,700.09. If we break down this today, then I think our next support is going to be 19458.11, that is 19,458.11, and we have a potential drop that could take us all the way down to 17,014. So we are in very critical support levels at this point of time. That's what I would like to say. And then I'm going to look at the chat section. And yeah, I'm going to interact with our friends out here. Hot Dog is here and David Best is also here. Welcome David and welcome Hot Dog. Let us see what you have been saying while I was doing the analysis. Thanks for the good luck, Hot Dog. I think our session went off well today. I feel good. And David Best is saying all eyes on CoreWeave first day trading. Yes, absolutely. I read ounce gold outperforms before a big crash ahead. I'm also looking at XLP. I did not check out XLP, so let me just go to XLP just for completeness. If you look at XLP out here, it's definitely forming our head and shoulder patterns. I'm still going to keep the question mark out here. I wanted to break this line of resistance so that this reverse head and shoulder can be triggered. And now I'm feeling emboldened to do the target setting for this. I'm going to clone this and move it up here and put it. I'll just put it out here so that we can see it clearly. And I think XLP could go to 91.84. When will XLP go up? It will go up in cases of recession. So I'm thinking that if this continues to form, then the market is looking at potential recession. That's what I would think of. And then let me go back and look at our chats out here. David Best is saying, put your feet up for next 12 months and they will be all on sale. Yes, I'm starting dollar cost averaging now. And bloody hell, Palantir 200 billion cap. Yes, it's looking scary, David, but that's where it is going. And projected 2025 4 to 5 billion. Great. David Best is saying Palantir biggest bubble in history. Yeah, but from what I'm learning is after my Tesla experience, right? I was so negative on Tesla. I lost a lot of opportunities and I incurred loss. And people will say, how can you make a loss on Tesla? But I lost $38,000 last year, last tax year. I'm not touching Tesla because I have too much of bias against Tesla. So I would say, David, don't have a bias against Palantir. Try to make money when the opportunity presents. That's what I'm planning to do. Unfortunately, I don't have the kind of money that's needed to put into Tesla. I don't want to lock it up, or else I'd have put it on. I would have said I would sell some puts and take some money there. Hot Dog is saying last day of trading. Last trading day of quarter. Think everyone is waiting for April 2nd though. I agree. Yes, people are looking for April 2nd. So that's what I'm thinking is happening out here. Okay, so I think we are all set for what happens during the day. Just out of curiosity, let me see. Oh, it's only 8:13, so we still don't have the economic data. So guys, if you want me to look at any tickers, please let me know. Or else if you have any suggestions for me when I look at the market today for my own personal trading, please feel free to put that in the chat, or else I'm ready to end the live stream and go and have a nice breakfast. Thank you so much. And I'm going to say good luck to Inf, who is starting his vacation today. He has worked very hard and he lost his father, I think, a month ago. So he was in a kind of dark place on the run up to it because his dad was in the hospital for quite a while. But now he's gone off to India and he's going to settle some paperwork and stuff like that. So I hope he has a good trip. And thanks, Hot Dog. Thanks for your company. Thanks, David Best, for taking time. I know you're working. Thanks for joining me and giving me the company as I build this channel. Both of you have been great support. I'm very deeply humbled, and I have great gratitude for your support. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Have a nice day. Bye for now.